Now, I made a One Piece video not too long ago and talked about why the first 30 episodes of everything up to Dawn Krieg of One Piece is pretty cool. As for the other arcs, currently I'm on Impel Down, but I want to talk about the first banker arc in One Piece, or in my opinion, where One Piece really started picking up, and that is Arlong Park. Arlong Park was so perfect in my opinion, and I'm just going to be talking about the greatness of Arlong Park and why it's such a goated arc. You guys have been killing it with the support on the second channel recently, so let me know any other arcs you would like me to review on One Piece or any specific scenes. I'm really tempted to just talk about Enies Lobby, but I'm afraid I'm literally just going to be screaming throughout the entire review due to the fact that Enies Lobby is so fucking hype. But yeah, just let me know and I hope you guys do enjoy. I think the most important character in this arc that makes everything work so well is the man whose literal name is in this arc. Arlong is a goddamn menace to society who ties everything into this arc so well, and if he was an ass villain, the whole arc would not work at all. He's similar to Dawn Krieg in a sense with having an ego and kind of being a Chad, but it's a lot bigger than that, being an ally with Jinbei who's in the same group as Mihawk, and not to mention he believes he's not only better, but in general his race is superior, and anyone who isn't in his race or is just a human, he just thinks they are inferior. They shouldn't defy they're a god, and he sees justice in trying to make an example out of people. And he just does all of this just to get the point across that they are pathetic and inferior, which makes him on a whole other level of menace energy than Dawn Krieg himself. Also, I know I'm at Impel Down, so I don't necessarily know Arlong's backstory yet, but we do get a little bit more context later on in One Piece about how the fishmen are treated, and honestly, I understand why Arlong is the way he is. If you guys didn't know, the fishmen are basically just treated like scum literally everywhere they go. If they are not on Fishman Island, they are just going to be treated like scum. They have to hide the fact that they're a fisherman, you know, like Hachi has to wear a hoodie in public. Hachi has to hide the symbol on his forehead, and Arlong basically sees it as he has no other way but to fight back. And I understand that I probably will get more context later on. I'll probably make a video on Arlong himself after getting more context about the backstory, but I can already have an idea as to why the way he is. Honestly, I get it, and to me, Arlong is literally like the Frieza of One Piece. And no, I'm not just saying that to gas Arlong up or anything. Arlong is literally One Piece's Frieza, you cannot tell me otherwise. Although he sees humans as an inferior race, he would utilize them in any way possible to his own benefit, like stealing Nami and making her an Arlong pirate and their navigator after killing her mom right in front of her face. Like, Arlong does not give a fuck, man, and will do anything it takes to get what he wants. And it's perfect how they set him up in Luffy's conflict, which was having Nami being the main connection to both characters, which allows Luffy and Arlong, who will do whatever it takes to reach their goals, however they do it through different means. One is only using Nami for what she's good for, while one is not only trying to use Nami as a navigator, but also just trying to get their friend back on their ship. It's simple, but I like simple, and it makes Luffy just a lot more likable than he already is. Arlong is such a ratty person, so him confronting Luffy, who's just straight up and honest, not to mention we constantly cut to Arlong's perspective and then Luffy's perspective until these two finally clash heads. And when Arlong and Luffy finally meet face to face, it's just so hype, and it's honestly the biggest moment up to this point in the series. In conclusion, Arlong is based. Psych! Okay, so initially when reading One Piece, there was one character that really didn't sit well with me out of the entire crew, and that was Nami. We got a hint of the backstory, but before that, she was just kind of annoying, always trying to talk shit, and just overall not really adding anything new to the table. Like, she wasn't bad, but she was just kind of bland. Personally, I think when starting One Piece, the one character I was questioning about the most was Nami. Why did she hate pirates? Why was she stealing? And also, she just dipped off to Arlong Park by the end of Dawn Krieg. Like, what the fuck is that about? And just seeing how Nami is, you could tell that Oda was definitely setting her up to be great. We see Nami trying to rush at Luffy, but then she's being held back, and she's just pissed off because, you know, she doesn't like pirates. And honestly, it was genuinely interesting, and when we got to Arlong Park, all my questions were answered, and I looked like an idiot. The reason why I looked like an idiot is because initially I was just hating on Nami, but now it all makes sense, and Oda is a goddamn genius. This is the arc that fully explains Nami's backstory and answers every question we had about her up to this point. She was saved at a young age by Bellemere, a former marine who raised Nami and Nojiko, and Nami one day would say how she and Nojiko aren't real sisters due to blood, which pisses off Bellemere, and these two ended up getting in a big fight with Nami running away. Arlong then arrived shortly after to take everyone's money, and everyone who didn't pay the fee paid their life instead, and Bellemere ends up sacrificing herself for the two daughters to live on. Bellemere could have easily hid Nami and Nojiko or just get them off the island while she could have lived, however she's not going to live in a lie. Bellemere died, but not without telling Nami and Nojiko how much she means to them, and blood really doesn't matter about having a family. Nami's last few moments with her mother is just apologizing about their big fight and then witnessing her die right in front of her. The same man who murders her mom then takes Nami and uses her to be a navigator, and Nami, trying everything to ensure her village's safety, tries to get 100 million so that Arlong can back off her village, but Arlong just doesn't keep his word. And Arlong literally just takes the money and tells her, yeah, you're just gonna be my navigator until you die. And it's sad because even when that was taken away, she was still down to chase the bag all over again just for the sake of her village. She couldn't let Arlong get away with the murder of her mother and destroy the place she died for Nami to keep living in. Her stabbing out her pirate tattoo had to have been top 3 scenes in this entire arc for me, and I'm glad they managed to make Nami goated. She for real got so much spotlight, going from saving Zoro and Usopp to even trying to constantly tell Luffy to leave, but Luffy being a true homie, she finally turns to him for help, and then we get the Arlong Walk. The final battle in this arc is for sure the best part, with not only us getting some cool fight scenes, but some neat characterization for the Straw Hats. After Luffy tries engaging with Arlong and is then thrown into the water, Zoro and Sanji are forced to attempt to try and save Luffy by beating up these goons. First, let's cover Zoro vs. Hachan, Machamp? I don't know. Hachan takes advantage of Zoro's injuries in this fight and believes he's stronger due to him carrying 8 swords. I think this is great in contrast with Zoro, who currently is on a path of redemption after his fight with Mihawk. Although Zoro is injured, although he may die, he can't lose this fight, and with the help of his brothers giving him his swords and utilizing the 3 sword style, he would sauce on Hachan using the lesson that Mihawk taught him to move forward. As for Sanji, well, he didn't really get anything too big due to him literally having an arc focusing on him right before this one. Sanji was still goated, however, he still saved Luffy and still found a flaw when Karubi had an advantage, and that was all great, but it just definitely wasn't the best moment in this arc. After Arlong's brethren fall, he takes matters into his own hands and takes the two on alone. Meanwhile, we get Usopp's characterization, which was instead of pretending to stay dead and run away, he stood proud trying to fight Chu and managed to 200 IQ this man, and actually catch his first dub. Sadly, after this, we see Sanji and Zoro being beaten down by Arlong due to them both being fatigued. However, Luffy would manage to recover and would be the only Straw Hat left capable of taking Arlong down. I love how during this fight we see how Arlong simply believes he will win due to just being a different race, but we see how Luffy, someone who doesn't really give a shit about any of that, tells Arlong he will win this fight for the sake of his homies, and we see how his friends basically make Luffy stronger. Arlong just uses people to get what he wants, while Luffy doesn't just use people. Those are his crewmates, and they got each other's back no matter what. And that's a power that Arlong will never seem to understand, and so Luffy would go on to destroy the main base of Arlong Park along with defeating Arlong himself. After the fight, we see the island celebrate for a few days, with the Straw Hats believing it's best to leave Nami since she got what she wanted. However, we see Nami herself go with the Straw Hats and rob everyone in the village, committing to her life as a pirate, and also gets a new tattoo that ties into her backstory, which is beautiful detail. And that is the end of Arlong Park. This arc honestly was the first 10 out of 10 arc in One Piece, and I genuinely believe if you don't like One Piece by this point, just drop the series. If you genuinely just don't like this shit, then I honestly don't know what to tell you. You can't go wrong with Arlong Park, there's literally no problems with it, and so I'm going to be giving it a 10 out of 10. Great arc, go read One Piece, please.